What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Garrett Hahn and in today's video, I'm not choosing my makeup. You guys are. So as you guys can see by the title, I am doing the Instagram Picks My Makeup Challenge. I have seen a lot of these videos floating around, but recently I have started to see them kind of circulate back again. I watched RawBeautyKristi's video. She just did this challenge and it kind of reminded me, I was like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to film this video. So here we are. I gave you guys some good options and then I also gave you guys some more like questionable options, if you will. So I am really excited to see what you guys chose. I haven't seen the results quite yet, so that terrifies me, but at the same time, I'm like, I can make it work. If this is your first time seeing my face on your screen, hello and welcome. Thank you guys so much for spending some time out of your day to come over here, hang out with me, and talk about makeup. If you guys want to join the madness that is here on my channel, feel free to click that subscribe button down below to become a member of this little growing fam that we have going over here on this corner of YouTube. I've been wanting to try to find a way to like kind of incorporate you guys more into my videos, and I felt like this was like the perfect kind of like entry video to do that. I mean, I always pick my makeup. So for somebody else to kind of be in control of that, like I'm nervous yet kind of excited about it. Today's also gonna be kind of like a get ready with me style vibe too, because I'm the farthest thing from ready. If you guys aren't ready for the day, go grab your makeup, go grab a drink, go grab a snack, go get something, girl. Let's just dive right into today's video and let's get sexy. First thing is first, I honestly forget what I even chose for my primer options. There we go. I gave you guys the option to choose between my personal favorite, the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which is my, that is my all-time favorite primer. It is so, so good. And I put that up against the Farsali Unicorn Essence, which is also a really good primer, I might add. I haven't used it for quite some time. Kind of like makes your skin a little bit tacky, so it kind of, you know, makes the foundation adhere better to it. The only reason why I don't like it as much anymore is because it's not pore filling. And Tatcha won 66% to 34%, so I want to give you guys kind of a rundown of how I like to use this primer, because in the comments on my Instagram videos specifically, I get tons of comments saying that the primer doesn't work for their skin, and I feel like this is a pretty solid primer for every single skin type. Something that I will say is when this primer first came out, I hated it. I did not like it. I don't know what happened the first time, but I tried it. It made my foundation look like awful. And one of my really good friends told me to rub it between your fingers for like 5 to 10 seconds to kind of like warm up the primer. When you rub the primer between your hands, it kind of like heats it up, or not like heats it up, but it warms it up. And then when you rub it into your skin, it's really, really silky. It almost like melts into your skin. It makes your base look so incredibly beautiful. And I just feel like taking that extra like 5 seconds to kind of like heat up the product between your fingers like really, really makes all of the difference. She's primed and ready to go now. Next, I asked you guys what foundation I should use, and I gave you the option between the Huda Beauty foundation versus the Morphe Fluidity foundation. Now, I have hardly used these two foundations. I've used them in maybe like a couple looks on my Instagram, but I've never actually worn these out of the house, so I don't know how they perform throughout the day. Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation won 64% to 36%. I've always paired it with a primer that I'm like just trying for the first time, so now that I have my holy grail on my face, I'm excited to see how this holds up. And to blend the foundation out today, I am going to be using my Morphe Contour and Highlighting Sponge. You guys, this sponge makes your foundation look so good. So good. So as you can see, she is full coverage. I have some really, really exciting news. So I was low-key hoping you guys were gonna pick the Morphe foundation because we finally, we have a Morphe code. I am so incredibly excited to have a code for us. So when you shop at Morphe, it can be in-store or online. It does not work at Ulta. But if you guys use the code GARE in all caps, you can save 10% off your entire purchase. And it's honestly just kind of like a full circle moment now, because when I first started playing around with makeup, Morphe was literally one of the first brands that I purchased from. Back in the day, I was on a budget. I was on a big, intense budget, and Morphe, quite honestly, was the only brand that I could afford to buy makeup from. Their brushes specifically are incredible quality, especially for the price point. To be able to shop at Morphe and get like so many brushes for a very, very small price was incredible, because like when I was starting out, like I didn't have money to just like spend on, you know, everything. I had nothing. Back in the day, they didn't have like more base products. I believe it was just like eyeshadow and brushes. But even then, to like be able to get all of that and still have money to spend somewhere else, I'm really, really happy to finally have a code for you guys. That way you can save some money when you shop at Morphe and get some makeup, because we love makeup in this house. The foundation, so far, you guys, it's looking really nice. I really, really don't like the smell, but I will say that this isn't my exact shade. She is blending down her neck today. Now that the foundation is blended out flawlessly, we are going to move on to concealer. So the options that I gave you guys to choose from were the new Magic Star Concealer from Jeffree Star Cosmetics versus the new Fenty, I think it's the Pro Filter Concealer. And the winner by 68% was Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I was going to do a review for this concealer as like my return video back to YouTube. And I swear to God, I filmed that video 2 times from start to finish, and it just wasn't working. So I'm really excited that you guys chose it for today's video. That way I can kind of give you guys the rundown on it, because every time I use it in an Instagram video, I get quite a few comments asking how I like it. As you guys know, I am literally the full coverage queen. I love when my products are like high coverage. I know when a product is full coverage, and in my opinion, these aren't, which is not bad, because literally on a day-to-day basis I will wear these and the coverage is so beautiful. It still covers quite a lot, but what I like to do is I go in first with C11, and then to kind of highlight everything and brighten it up, I will go in with C4. And when I mix the two together, it does build up to be a full coverage. So if you guys are using this concealer, it is buildable. You can build it up to a full coverage. The finish is very unique because it's almost skin-like, but it almost reminds me like right when you're done with your skincare routine. You know how your face kind of has that like glistening, like very, very healthy, dewy, refreshed look? This is almost what the concealer gives me when I put it on. And when I set it, of course, it's gonna be a little bit more matte, but as it wears throughout the day, it kind of like brings back the vibe of like, I just did my skincare routine, and it just makes your skin look so beautiful. I really, really like this concealer, and this is what I have been using like on a day-to-day basis recently. This and the Jouer Cosmetics High Coverage Essential Concealer. It is one of my all-time favorites. I use that all the time, and baby, that concealer is full coverage. I am going to be going in with a cream contour. You guys, I have been loving the new Tantour from Huda Beauty. This is in the shade Fair. I don't normally cream contour. This is literally the only cream contour that I have. That being said, I didn't have another one to put it up against, so we are going to go in with this. So just because this wasn't a part of the voting process, I'm going to kind of speed through it a little bit. Now that the cream contour is all blended out, I'm going to be going in with C4. I feel like when I do the concealer right after my cream contour, everything just kind of like blends together a little bit more like seamlessly, and I just like, I don't know, I've been incorporating this step for like a couple weeks now, and I feel like it is the tea. So using the other side of this beauty sponge, I'm going to blend all that out. So I'm gonna wait to blend out my under eye concealer, that way I can like set it right away with powder. But I need to figure out what powder you guys chose for me. So the options that I gave you guys were the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Magic Star Setting Powder versus the Beauty Bakery Flower Setting Powder. And the winner was, wow, Jeffree Star Cosmetics with 70% of the votes. And then I like to set the rest of my face with a powder puff, because I feel like it just like really seals in the deal. So I'm gonna take my powder puff, dip into this powder, and go to town. Obviously, I have used this powder before, and it was in the video that I was telling you guys about earlier, which never happened. I feel like it sets my face really nice. The only there we go. So here's the thing with the smell for me. I think it smells incredible. I think it smells delicious. I know that's what he was going for when he was making this, but my thing is when I'm setting my face, I breathe, and I feel like that's a normal human thing. I don't know. I feel like it's normal, but it gets in my nose, it gets in my mouth, and the smell almost makes me want to immediately cough right after. I have to be really careful about this powder when I'm setting like my nose or around my mouth, because if I breathe it in and it just kind of like stings for a second, it's not like a lingering sting. Pores don't exist on my face when I use this powder, but that being said, it sets my face beautifully. It makes my makeup last very long. I just don't breathe when I set my face when I use this powder, and I'm good to go. So if you guys are looking for a new setting powder, I really do recommend this one. The next product that I had you guys pick for me was the bronzer. Now, I had you guys choose from the KKW Contour, which I use as a bronzer, and the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronzer, which is my holy grail bronzer. It is my absolute favorite, and yes, you guys know me so well. So the Marc Jacobs bronzer won with 67% of the votes. I'm here for that. And we are going to be going in with the Morphe M527 brush. This brush distributes the bronzer onto your face so beautifully, and it just makes everything look soft and seamless and not super harsh. But I just feel like it just, the flavor. Ooh. And then I'm going to hit the nose with some contour to make her look a little bit more. So you guys might be thinking, Garrett, that is a very, very harsh nose contour. Yes, you are right, but we are going to clean it up soon. This foundation is not liking brushes on top of it. Oh my God. The foundation is completely rubbing off my nose when I'm doing my nose contour and when I'm doing, yeah. So we are going to ignore that and move on to blush. Blush was another product that I didn't have you guys choose from, only because there were I honestly just didn't want my story to be so long, because quite honestly, I didn't want to be that bitch with like 500 stories on her Instagram in one day. But I have been obsessed with this new blush duo from Jouer. This is the Cheeky Summer Blush Duo in Terracotta Sands and Hot Coral. So I cannot use Terracotta Sands because obviously that is a little bit too dark for me. But to be completely honest, when I saw this palette for the first time, I was like, yeah, these are not gonna work for me, because I thought they were gonna be a little bit too dark. But surprisingly enough, you guys, this shade Hot Coral is so pretty on fair skin tones. It's like this really pretty like coral, obviously the shade's coral, but it's like a very corally pink. And then of course, you guys know I hit this nose. Always. Why? I don't know. Before highlight, I am going to bake my face. Now, obviously, we are going to be using the Magic Star setting powder to do this. And then I am also going to be using my Morphe contour and highlighting sponge. What I like to do is I like to take the more angled side, dip into the powder, and then start to carve out the underside of my, I guess it's not really a contour, but under my bronzer. I am going to move on to my favorite part, highlighting. The two products that I had you guys vote between were the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Highlighter in the shade Snowflake, or the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Powder in the shade Mercury. And with 65% of the votes, this one was pretty close, the winner was Snowflake from Anastasia Beverly Hills. To highlight today, I am going to be using the Morphe M501 brush. This highlighting brush hugs every nook and cranny that it needs to hug when you're highlighting. Oh baby, you cannot tell me that is not it. I'm like really scared to rub any more brushes on my face, because literally my foundation was just falling off my nose. And I know it's not the concealer because I wear that concealer all of the time. Literally the only thing that changed today was the foundation. And it was just like clocking out real quick. All right guys, so moving on to eyeshadow. I'm really excited about this one because I put two of my current favorite eyeshadow palettes up to the battle, I guess you'd say. They're battling it out to see who's gonna win. The first one that we have is the Makeup Geek Peach Bellini palette. You guys, this has been a current obsession of mine. I have been using this literally all the time when I'm getting ready to go to an event or out of the house and I want something a little bit more like peachy vibe. And then we also have the Tan Lines palette from Jouer. This one is obviously kind of more on the peachier side as well. And then we have a few fun pops of color as well. The winner between the two, whoa. with 63% of the votes. You guys wanted to see me use the Tan Lines palette from Jouer. First going into the shade Heat Wave on my Morphe M22. What brush is this? On my Morphe M222 brush, we are going to start packing that shade into the crease. You guys, I have been living for packing on my shadow into the crease first on like a sticky base. I haven't really talked about this yet on any of my videos. About a month ago, I went to Cabo with Jouer, and you guys, I had so much fun. And being able to go with a brand that I literally love so much, just like, I don't know, I was just feeling like so incredibly grateful and humbled, and just like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but like, I wouldn't be having any of these experiences if it weren't for you guys. But it was just so much fun to kind of get out of what I'm used to on a day-to-day basis, which is just like home in LA. You know, I work from home, I work out at home, and sometimes it's just really, really nice to get outside of my house and like do things that I don't get to do all the time. I think one of my most favorite parts about the entire trip is just getting to know other, you know, influencers who went on the trip, because as somebody who goes to a lot of events like monthly, you know, they do get exhausting, they get a little bit tiring because you're always, you know, it's a very social thing, but being able to kind of be in a more relaxed setting with the same people for about like 3 to 4 days, you know, you really get to connect with people on a more deeper level. You know, to be able to kind of, you know, hear everybody's story, to actually be able to get to know somebody on a deeper level rather than just like, hey, oh my God, so good to see you, your makeup looks amazing. It just made me appreciate like literally every single person who went on that trip with me, like 10,000 times more than I think I would, because you're seeing them every day, you know what I mean? I am just so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you who have ever, you know, followed me on Instagram, or liked a picture, or liked a video, or commented, or subscribed to my YouTube channel. It just means so much to me, because I try my best to create nothing but the best quality content for you guys. I never want to put out anything subpar or anything that I'm just not like truly like happy with putting out. Moving back onto the makeup, I honestly have just been kind of going for it. So right now I'm buffing in Heat Wave again into the crease. So now that we have this going on, I am going to go ahead and cut my crease. So my favorite brush to cut my crease with is the Morphe M170-8. This will cut your crease in 2.5 seconds. It's the best brush. Take the shade Beachaholic, and we are going to pack that onto the concealer to set it. And this is also going to lighten it up a little bit. That way you kind of get that nice contrast between the cut and the new lid that we made. Taking the shade Tankini on my ring finger, and I'm going to pack that onto the center of my lid just to kind of give it a little extra something. And lastly, going in with the shade Sunburst, we are going to pack this all over our inner corner. And you guys, this yellow, baby. I would buy this entire palette just for this yellow shadow, because literally this shade is so stunning. To be entirely honest, this is probably one of my favorite yellow shadows that I have ever used. It is so gorgeous. There's a little bit of shimmer to it, so when it catches the sunlight, or if it catches any kind of light, it will just like, to start wrapping this look up, I am going to be taking the shade Limelight, and we are going to be putting that on our lower lash line, because I really want to kind of marry the yellow and the green together. And then to make everything look a little bit more cohesive and blended out, I'm going to be going in with the shade of Vitamin C and blending that onto the green, just to make sure everything looks a little bit more cohesive and blended. So because this is more of like a shimmery eyeshadow and I'm like dusting it onto my lower lash line, it's not going to be super intense. But the cool thing about this is that same thing kind of like with the yellow, when you go out into the sunlight, you're also going to get kind of like this blue kind of shimmery thing that's merging up into the green. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off camera to finish this eye up, and then when I'm back, we are going to see the next product that you guys chose for me. Hopefully I'm not gonna be disappointed, because you guys have been picking A1 products for me so far, so it's gonna be good. Put that energy out into the world. All right, so this is the eyeshadow complete. Now on Instagram, I asked you guys if you wanted to see me use liner or no liner, and winning with 72%, we have liner. So I am going to be using my NYX Matte Liquid Liner, and we are going to create a wing on this face. So the eyes are complete. I am living for how they turned out. Very fun, very tropical, very that. Next up, we have liquid lips. So the two that you guys voted between were the Kylie Cosmetics Velvet Lipstick in the shade Charm and the Velour Liquid Lipstick from Jeffree Star Cosmetics in the shade Watermelon Soda. And this one is actually kind of close. So the Jeffree Star Cosmetics won with 58% of the votes. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips real fast with a shade that's going to work for this liquid lipstick. For today, I am going to be using the LA Girl Lip Liner in the shade Sensational. Okay, so don't hate me, but I feel like we have a lot of matte going on right now, especially in the eyes. So I am going to be using the Beach Days Lip Topper from Jouer Cosmetics, and this is going to add a really nice kind of like sparkle and gloss to the lips, and I feel like that's kind of what it is missing. Now moving on to setting my face, I gave you guys the options to choose between the new Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face setting spray and the Morphe Prep and Set setting spray, and with 64% of the votes, wow, the Morphe setting spray won. Thank Jesus. Alcohol is what? The first ingredient in her setting spray. And if you guys know anything about skincare, you know that you should not be putting alcohol anywhere near your face because that is not going to help your anti-aging process, and it's going to dehydrate the shit out of your skin. So thank you guys so much for giving me this one and not the other setting spray. You can also use what? Code Garrett for 10% off. And last but not least, I gave you guys the option to choose between the Miami Lashes from Lily Lashes or the Saucy from Batty B. And with a whopping 61%, Lily Lashes won. So we are going to be going in with the Miami Lashes. You guys, these are literally like my all-time favorite lash. So super excited that you guys chose these. Oh, she's cute. I was like upstairs and I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. All right, you guys, so this is the completed look. I am actually kind of living for how it turned out. I'm not entirely sure what my favorite thing about this entire look is, but I will tell you my least favorite. Mama, this foundation, no ma'am. I don't know if maybe I did something. No, I didn't do anything wrong. This foundation isn't working for me, unfortunately, but it's so sad because I feel like for so many other people, this is like their holy grail full coverage foundation, and I had such high hopes for this. But this foundation has been on my skin for quite a while because this video has taken me a second to film because I've had to do a few things in between filming, but no. This just doesn't look good on my skin. Not gonna lie, I love you guys to death, but y'all did me dirty with this foundation. I cannot. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending some time out of your day to hang out with me. I really, really do appreciate it. If you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, feel free to click that subscribe button down below and click the bell notification button to be notified every time that I upload a new video. Also, if you guys want to follow me around on my other social media, my username is @OMGIt'sGarrett on Twitter and Instagram. I would love to have you guys over there as well. And that is it for today's video. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will be seeing all of you in my next video. Bye guys.